All right, what's poppin', everybody? Welcome to another. Damn, let me make my camera smaller. Never mind, bro. Actually, I'm just keeping going. I don't even care. Welcome to another video. I apologize for yelling, but yo, it's not letting me minimize the camera. All right, we don't have to rock with the big face for now. I'm making a video on standard deviation today. I'm gonna be breaking down what it is, how I use it, Asia dealing range, all of that little intricate stuff. Because I feel like I've mentioned it, I've briefly explained it, but I think that deserves a whole video. I get a lot of questions about it, so I'm gonna make a quick one. It's not gonna take too long. But yeah, breaking down how to use it, how I use it, and what I go about. So first, these are my standard deviation settings. Right here, you can copy them. You can take your screenshot right now so that we can get into the video and you can apply it to yourself. You don't have to use the colors I use. You don't have to, but just have these numbers, understand them. Everybody getting right into it. Now, first, quick preface. Honestly, I don't know why they work. They work, but I don't know why. I can't tell y'all that, so don't ask me. But I'm gonna tell you right now the important numbers that I know that are like the main important ones are, I just deleted it. These top ones right here, 0.79, 0.62, 0.5, and 0.25. Now what these are, you can use these in a plethora of ways. Now, when you measure out, let's just take an example right here for say. Let's measure out, actually I don't like that. All right, let's use this right here. The body low to this candle's high. This is the last leg prior to this reversal. This is the first way that I use standard deviation. The last leg prior to any reversal to measure out a potential price projection, a potential draw on liquidity, and where I can potentially see price draw to. And as you can see here, -1 aligned with this internal high. We ended up sweeping that intermediate high and getting a very strong reversal. A lot of the times when price taps standard deviation at any level, you can see price get a quick reaction. It'll be a very strong draw. You see a quick reaction. The price will either make its mind up whether we want to continue or we want to reverse. Now from there, you see 2 to 2.5 is another one. We got a very similar case. It aligned with the fair value gap. Price pulled back into it, respected it, continued higher. If we inverse it, a lot of the times you will see price go higher. If we respect 2 to 2.5, but a lot of times you'll see price go lower. And as you can see right now, -3 is the next on the horizon for this range. Now this is the first way that I use it. Price projections, understanding potential draw on liquidities, and potential reversal areas. Now if there's a bunch of liquidity and standard deviation aligns with a certain level, that would be my main target. If there's a bunch of stacked highs and standard deviation aligns with an individual high, that would be my main target, etc. You know, that'll usually be the case. Sometimes if my trade, depending on the time frame that I'm on and the risk to reward, oftentimes I will go break even once we tap -1 and look to see runners go to standard deviation. Or I will take all off at -1. Really just depends on the trade, but I also use this for that. Another thing that I use this for is just measuring out range levels. This entire range right here, let's show y'all something right quick. Actually, I have to do it from the side. I always draw my standard deviation from the bodies as well. I always do it from bodies. Some people do wicks. I do bodies. As y'all can see right here, 0.62 to 0.79. This is known as OTE, aka optimal trade entry. It's got a bunch of names, but I call it OTE. Essentially, when price pulls back to discount, this is the deepest that it will usually do, and this is also where you can expect reversals from if we are in a buy model. As you can see here, price ended up sweeping this low that aligned right with the optimal trade entry level at 0.79. We swept this internal low, ended up actually, I'll get into this later actually, but we swept the internal low and shifted into a market maker buy model, and as you can see, we ended up revisiting that same exact level prior to expanding higher. OTE is what I use when I'm measuring out ranges to see where price is expected to draw to, or we can reject from, etc. You will use this when price is ranging, when we are severely overbought. If price hasn't had any type of pullback or any type of reaction, you can oftentimes use this to see when or where price is going to draw to. Now, the next thing, which I actually just spoke about. Now y'all see I got the same fit on as the last explanation video. I just made that one. I'm making this one now too because I'm like, why not? I'm in the mode. I feel good. We're gonna make it. The next thing, actually, I'm gonna just use this as the example. Standard deviation of very large wicks. When you see a large wick like this, you can oftentimes measure out standard deviation of it, and you will see price respect a certain level. As you can see here, price tapped into OTE of this wick range, and we'll use that as a reaction. You can always, anytime you see some type of very large wick, let me just turn replay mode off right quick. When you see a large wick, you can oftentimes see price pull back, and I'm on the 4 hour. You can oftentimes see price pull back and use that as a PD array or a rejection level in itself. I'm trying to find like another decent example, if I can. Where's Thursday? I just did actually. Y'all get the point though. Any wick you see, if price revisits 0.5 of the wick or anywhere below it, optimal trade entry range, oftentimes you can also see price react from there. I can't find any true rejections right now. I guess this small one, but like not really. But yeah, that is another way where you can see it used as another way that you can see standard deviation. And just these projections we use is when we are spotting Asia's dealing range. Now, Asia dealing range, what I use it for, potential price projections when price is ranging, when we are in continuation days, or when we are at all-time highs like we are at this moment right now. I use it to mark out where price can potentially react from. It's all the same stuff, where price potentially react from. And if we do react from it, you can oftentimes see reversals. As you can see right here, sometimes it may not always be exact or to the tick, but very, very close. We just barely missed it, but it did end up sparking price to rebalance. This Asia dealing range. It can spark a rebalance. It can spark a reversal. Oftentimes when price gets closer, taps these, you will see a slowdown and maybe reverse. I use it to measure out Asia's dealing range whenever we're at all-time highs or when it aligns with the price, I'll say. And yeah, that is another way that I use it. The last way I think I use it, the last way I use it is when we have very large fair value gaps. I'm trying to find like a very large fair value gap for an example. Okay, right here. You can use this to measure out very large fair value. But it's actually got ran through, so it's actually don't even count. We ran this fair value gap. Okay. Let's say right. This ain't even this, but oftentimes when we have Asia dealing range for a fair value gap on the higher time frame, you can often, once we get around OTE or 0.5, you can zoom in, say this is the hourly. From here, if I want to go short, I would zoom into the 5-minute once we tapped into that. And then from here, I'm going to look for it's a change in the state or an inversion. Once we got right here, I'll go short, target, let's just say 1,000, put it on that. I'll go short. I'll probably just target this, the unfilled fair value gap, stop at this high. It looks like a 1-to-1, if not 1.3 to 1. And just let it play out, see if it works. And as you can see, oftentimes it does. And that's like the main ways that I use it, honestly. That's about it. Basically just projection levels though, where price can potentially react from it. You can also draw trades from there. It can act as a PD array. It can act just to show you where price is likely to draw towards. Yeah, that's basically it. That is all I want to say that I use it for. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. And I don't think there is. So with that being said, I will catch you on the next one. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. I love and appreciate each and every one of y'all. It means a lot to me. I apologize for yelling earlier if that deterred y'all from the video or not. If you're still here, I appreciate you. But yeah, this camera not gonna work for me. I wanted this to, okay, it works now. But yeah, I'm gonna catch you on the next one though. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. I hope you learned from this. And I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.